What's going on, guys? So tonight we're actually filming a brand new SHOCKY NURDCAST because a topic came up not long ago that realistically was a little bit bigger than just myself. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But first and foremost, well, hell, I don't know why I haven't done one of these in months, but it is what it is, guys. So if you guys are new here to the NURDCAST, we have a bit of a motto, and it says that you may not be a nerd for everything, but everyone is a nerd for something, and I have a good range of nerds here tonight. So first and foremost, we have somebody we've seen before. We've got TheKrowSama down here.
What's going on? I'm TheKrowSama.
he tried to go full sexy there. What was that all about?
Like, do you want me to do the whole full bio?
No, just keep going.
Okay. Well,
I'm leaving all this in.
Okay. Well, my name is TheKrowSama, and I pretty much do primarily just Gundam reviews. However, I like to do a little bit of vlogging as well as skits. Currently living in the worst state, Mississippi, and going to be moving to. California is pretty legit. Like, this guy has problems, but at least I can go buy Gundams down the street. But I'm gonna be going to Japan pretty soon, so that's why like everything is like very blank and very dull. But yeah, I like Gundams.
You like the Gundams?
Yeah.
All right, and we got Mr. InkedGunpla, who's also not a stranger to this channel.
What's going on, everybody?
You guys should know him. Yeah, go ahead.
Name is Mitch. Go by InkedGunpla on social media. Working on several projects. Been on SHOCKY's channel a few times. Enjoy hanging out. First NURDCAST.
Yeah, it's your first NURDCAST, but you've been featured. Why am I echoing?
Yeah.
I'm echoing for some reason. Anyways, so yeah, Mitchell of course has been here before because he's been on with his Ultron Gundam, and then also what else? We did the unboxing
Builders,
with the
swap. We did the swap.
We did the builder swap. That was actually that might have been the first time we met. But
yeah.
Of course, he's from the E-Sig Vapor Lounge in Humble, which you guys has also been featured on the channel. Out there, they have a great group of Gundam guys. Good lord, the alliteration. And if you guys see that thing off to his right there, the nice big double O off. I can't tell. It's all reversed. All of his fun stuff behind it. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, we did the unboxing for the Dendrobium.
We did the unboxing for the Dendrobium, which is the longest unboxing in history. But he's definitely going to be featured back on the channel sometime soon. Whenever that happens, I don't know, but he'll be here. And then we have somebody new to the channel entirely, but somebody I've talked to repeatedly and talked about, and we have unboxing art right over here. Our buddy from Maryland.
Hey everybody, unboxing art, and I review a lot of different things from Legends to Transformers to masks. I mean, a little bit of everything, and I give you an honest review of these. So I'm either going to save you money or I'm going to make your wallet cry.
Oh god, we're already losing bandwidth after that.
He sounded auto-tuned.
That's in your fault.
Auto-tuned, really?
Yeah, we lost you there for a second. It's got to be you because we all heard you. But yeah, no. Hell, I've been talking to you for a few months now because he's on the toy side. But if you guys are watching his channel, I did send him some goodies for his 500 plus subscriber thing, and so I'm trying to get him into the Gunpla family with a really cool kit. So hopefully he'll get to that sometime soon. But I don't blame him if he doesn't just yet. I'm
actually going to open it tomorrow. And
show
off all the little bits and all that good stuff.
Get that unboxing on.
Yep.
There's a reason they call him unboxing art. It's kind of a pun because it is an artist of unboxing.
Right. Well, I mean, some people actually were giving me a little bit of crap about like, oh, you don't actually show the unboxing. I'm like that stuff sort of can like be annoying at times, like hearing the crumpling of the plastic into your ears, and so I did it a couple times just to, appease the audience.
I was gonna say you've seen my channel, right?
Yeah, you do everything. That's like, wait, you said what? Let me make a video dedicated to that.
Well, hold on, bags on the floor. Every unboxing, bags on the floor. But no, because you and I share a little bit of a kindredness when it comes to toys and certain collectibles and stuff like that. And I think that's how we hooked up in the first place. But it's definitely fun having you on because we needed a little bit more of a toy collector from this side as well. We may or may not have another guest popping in later on. Hopefully you can. If you can't, it is what it is. He's having family time. But it's still going to be good one way or the other. I apparently have the crappiest webcam out of everybody at this point. I think even Arthur looks a little bit better than me right now. But then again, yeah, just everybody breathe directly into your mic. Well, except for Dennis, most of us are fat. We definitely have the toy collector shape going on.
Now, I do want to be the first like Gundam bodybuilder.
That sounds weird. I know what you mean, but in context, it sounds really funny.
And I got a picture of a bodybuilder like airbrushing themselves to look like a Gundam.
That's badass.
Do you really? If you have that, I would gladly put that in here right now because that'd be hilarious. Yeah, just what you need to do, Dennis, is like when you get a little bit, well, I want to say more buff because you're already there, but you need to have a big fake runner made of metal that you're bench pressing as an image.
Yeah,
that would be badass. Like actually have like fake parts on it and everything.
Mm.
That would be great. You know how they have those things where they take real car parts and put them all on a runner like it's a model car? That would be great, but on the
do like a barbell and like kettlebell and all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, literally make a giant runner like a Gundam parts runner out of metal and have you like bench pressing that.
That'd be so awkward.
Yeah, but it'd be funny. It's worth the gag.
Like, yeah, definitely.
Especially if you're gonna be in Japan trying to have all kinds of fun on this, hopefully not Logan Pauling it up.
Gotta put some respect on it.
There you go. just don't try to make a good name for American YouTubers in Japan.
Yeah, well, I did the whole Pikachu thing before Logan Paul, anyways.
Yeah, I've seen it.
He copied me.
Hey, there we go. We're copying things. You're already almost getting topical there. Who did it first? Who knocked off who? I was Logan Paul before it was cool.
Exactly.
No, that would be Johnny Knoxville, I think.
Well, I think they did like the panda suits and stuff.
Yeah, they did.
That's true. They did. They really did. But yeah, actually, I really look forward to your Japan stuff when you finally get there. Not just because I want you to send me stuff when you're there, but dude, streams are going to be a pain in the ass whenever you're over there. You're going to be on a complete opposite schedule.
Yeah, unless it's on the weekend, then I can do weekend stuff.
Yeah, well, that should be a lot of fun. Mitchell, are you working on stuff while you're sitting there too?
Yeah.
I feel like I need to do. I have a whole piece of paper in front of me that actually is all the work I need to do here. But you guys are free to play with your whatever you're playing with.
I'm working on the PG 00.
Will you give us permission to play with stuff?
Uh-oh.
You can only play with PG stuff.
Oh, only PG?
Because we're going with puns. If you guys notice, my beer is going to drain really quick during this. Shout out to New Holland on the Dragon Smoke, though.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, because he's not here, though, shout out to Life of Brock's dad. It's his birthday this weekend. That's why he can't necessarily participate tonight. He's hanging out with Poppy and having fun. So if you hear this later on, Brock, that's for you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Mr. Brock's dad.
Mr. Brock's dad. Okay, somebody's making a lot of noise. I think it's Mitchell.
Why's it got to be me?
Always calling people out and stuff.
Right?
Because it's super loud in my ears, guys. It's super loud. Actually, you know what? I got these headphones with the microphone and everything, but they're so tight on my big fat ass ears that they hurt. So I think I'm going to switch out eventually to my normal ones that I use for editing and whatnot. It's a nice gaming headset, but these sound phenomenal. I'll say that. But either way, guys, we're just rambling because that's what happens at the beginning. But I want to go ahead and go into the nerd news because that's what I do. And I'm going to talk about mostly what I can for this. Hold on, let me isolate myself for a second. Look at my terrible face. Can't even see it. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Look, I fixed my remote lights. Yay! That was fun. Except for these two over here that don't have lights yet. A trip to IKEA is necessary sometime soon. I need like 3 more details. Anyways, so I want to talk about one of the biggest movie openings of forever, and that is Black Panther opened this weekend for most people because you got the lucky few that actually got to see it already, like Mitchell. Hate you. Except he actually has the bootleg version, which just falls right into what we're talking about tonight. But
yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous since you okay there, Art?
I was messing with the figure and its leg busted off.
Oops.
But it jammed my index finger into its crotch, so it was just like very painful.
Are we going back to the shocker again? Toy shocker. Oh Jesus! It's just gonna be like that all night, guys. It is what it is. All right, so Black Panther has the biggest opening weekend or pre-sale so far of any movie that's ever existed, and it hasn't even been through the full weekend. That's being recorded on Sunday night of it opening, and it's already made estimated 192 million.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's ranked right now number 14 in the Marvel movies in earnings. 14.
That is ridiculous.
And it's it's only the opening weekend. I'm saying total earnings. It's number 14 right now. It's actually Thor is number 8. Thor Ragnarok is number 8 with 314 million, and that's been out forever. So
I watched that on bootleg too.
Jesus. Ooh, I'm gonna have to turn Mitchell down. He's a little bit loud.
I think that's amazing, though, that the fact that movie is doing so well.
The thing is, like, I think it's only doing well in America. I don't think it's going to do that well in China.
You're probably right about that, to be totally honest. Mm-hmm. But it's going to do great in Africa. Those huge movie theaters, those numbers are always waiting for there.
I mean, there's already people that were like saying how that movie was, like the whole race shit with it. And I'm like, really?
Well, I mean, China doesn't really care for, like center African American leagues. Like, it's just stat wise, and they don't really do too well.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But domestically, it's going to do really well. I think. In Europe, it's going to probably do really, really well. But the fact that it is that good, and all the there's rave reviews now. I did watch a couple of reviews since then. To say, going over a lot of the issues with it. Yeah. Some of them is some of the slight repetitive nature of it. Of course, it is pretty much an origin movie, but it kind of retreads itself a couple times in the movie. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's gorgeous. The acting is phenomenal, except apparently from Michael B. Jordan, which makes no sense.
See, I heard he was the best
that's what I heard.
Movie.
That's what I thought was funny, but I think they said in the role he's in, he's almost like overdoing that Killmonger role, which being the guy who's trying to basically usurp.
Yeah.
He's overdoing it, which it's Marvel. It's a comic book movie. You should have some over the top villains, But I would think the Claw would be the over the top supervillain,
Mm-hmm.
Which, can we just talk about how awesome Andy Serkis is, and he never gets credit for anything officially. The man's never won an Oscar for anything he's done.
No, he doesn't deserve one.
Oh, shut up.
I'm definitely going to go see it next weekend. I couldn't see it this weekend at all because I was just so busy with everything else. But next weekend, I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to try to get tickets for tomorrow night, or at least one night this weekend after the wifey gets off. Because she's like, are we going to go see that? I'm like, yes. Because I got her into the Marvel movies when Civil War was coming out. So I had to plow through all the Captain America movies to get her caught up. And then Avengers 2, so she knew what was happening.
Yeah.
And then the Marvel series, had to catch her up on all of those just because. And, well, you guys know why. But, trying not to make everything public here. But either way, she likes the Marvel movies. She can't wait for it. Same thing with Star Wars. I got her into Star Wars movies. What are you pointing at the camera, Art?
Didn't Andy Serkis win some shit for Lord of the Rings?
I don't think he did.
Like, I think he won the MTV award, but I don't know if that actually is worth anything. But
no, but I'm saying he's been Oscar snubbed repeatedly. Hold on, let me have a look see.
Because that was one of his like when he won the MTV awards, it was awesome. Like, him and Gollum were up there. But like, I do agree though. I feel he's underrated.
He's a good actor. Like, forget like all the other crap he's done, like motion cap. I mean, he's revolutionized motion capture. He alone literally invented the way they shoot apes in movies. You know, and it doesn't sound like much, but he was King Kong for Peter Jackson, and then he's
Oh,
basically,
really?
yeah, he was the King Kong in Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Oh,
Never
very
watched
nice.
Planet of the Apes or King Kong.
Dude, all of the and he's only gotten better through Planet of the Apes. That's what I find really crazy. I mean, he's done a lot, but he never gets credit for it because he's almost never on screen. But you know, he's basically been going over. Yeah, I didn't see any Oscar wins here, but I don't think he's ever won anything for his performances. Really, like those movies he's usually in get um, visuals and stuff like that, or score for that matter, or even Best Picture, but never recognizing the work he's done, even as Gollum way back in the day. You know, when he really first got into it.
And that alone was
That was an Oscar winning. Well, and that already had 11 freaking Oscar wins, or at least nominations for Lord of the Rings. It was the first one. Um, but yeah, no, I think he does like actually getting a lot of screen time with him in this movie. Hopefully with Claw. Actually, since you've seen him, Mitchell, is he actually on screen a lot, or is he in the movie a lot, or is it only like for a little bit?
I'm still trying to figure out who the hell you're talking about.
Andy Serkis. He played Claw in the movie.
dude with the gun arm or gun hand.
Yeah.
He in the beginning he's in it.
Okay, so Killmonger breaks him out, like we see in the
No,
trailer.
don't be adding spoilers to this one.
That's in the trailer.
I don't wanna
That's in the trailer. That's not a spoiler.
He's in it,
Yeah, okay,
but
that's
he's
in
not
the.
the whole movie.
Okay, well that kind of sucks. But hopefully, hopefully they didn't kill him like they do all the other Marvel villains, so they never get to come back unless your name is Loki.
Or Mandarin.
Well,
Don't even. That wasn't. That wasn't.
let's not. Hold on, we're not
Don't
even
even.
touching the
Don't.
Mandarin problem. Hey, but at least the dude who played the Mandarin is still alive.
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley's character is
Yeah.
still alive in the MCU. See, he needs to hook up with the Kingpin and what the hell, Vulture in prison. They all just need to get together and start Sinister Sixing. That sounded terrible.
That sounded like a porno for sure.
we turned it into a verb. He's Sinister Sixing.
You just got Sinister Sixed.
That actually sounds like an awesome tagline. They like just yeah, and then they walk away. You just see a pile of rubble from what was left over. Jesus. But yeah, no, I really look forward to Black Panther. I hope it's as good as the critics say. And yeah, I'm gonna recognize this problem. I'm not gonna fanboy all to hell. But Chadwick Boseman is awesome. He's just great. I love him in Civil War.
Yeah.
Is it as purple as it looks where all the other Marvel movies are very blue? Is it just over the top purple? Mitchell?
He doesn't know it was bootleg.
Exactly. It's as grainy as Art's video there.
Right, exactly.
It looks like
Well, there's two bootlegs out right now. If you have a Fire Stick,
okay.
One of them starts at the beginning, the other one starts like 10 minutes after. But and it's pixelated. The one that starts later is pixelated as hell, but the other one is.
So you got Bukkake Panther, and then you have regular Panther.
Yeah,
I'm terrible. I hate myself. Jesus. All right. So
I don't want to say too much about it, but it
yeah,
is
no spoilers. We're not going there. Maybe if we all see it, we can get back together and have a nerdcast about it, or review, as it were. All right. So other fun nerd stuff. Toy Fair 2018 went off this weekend, or the past few days, and apparently we have gotten a ridiculous amount of new toys announced. Cool shit from everybody. I think we've all seen it. How about, let's see, Art's our main toy guy here. What's one of the main things you're interested in that you saw from Toy Fair this year?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, Storm Collectibles was hitting heavy with Goro and the rest of the ninjas.
Oh, really? They're doing a Goro?
Yeah, and it looks fantastic. They did. They have like a proto Baraka katana. Those I'm looking forward to, and I mean, just to have the rest of the ninjas, because if you've ever had a Storm Collectible figure in your hand, you just it's like I wish all toys would follow their standard, because they're not overly expensive and they just feel really nice, and articulation's just insane. But
dude, that Goro looks fantastic.
Yes, Yes.
And he towers over them like he should.
And also, like all the legends, as anybody that's watched my channel knows, I fell hard into the legend hole, and they have like multiple waves of just figures that people were anticipating for, and then they're releasing like their 10th anniversary for Marvel Legends. They're doing like a whole bunch of Marvel Cinematic Universe like 2-packs and individuals, and they look phenomenal with the new dot matrix face scan technology and all that stuff. And what else? Oh, they did. There is a special pack. I don't know if it's going to be like a Comic Con exclusive of like Days of Future Past. It's a Sentinel with a 6-inch Days of Future Past Logan.
Really?
So yeah.
And that's from Marvel or
yes.
the Marvel Select or no? Wait,
Marvel Legends.
Is it Legends? Okay.
So looking forward to that. Tons of, I mean, for the pop people out there, I mean, it's just everything. It's sort of one of those shows that I'm like, I'm 3 hours from New York City, and I'm like, man, I should have just went. I should have, just because I was not, like, the amount of stuff they announced, I just wasn't expecting, and especially with the Power Ranger information, which.
Yeah, I was going to cover that in a second. What about that Ant-Man and Wasp 2-pack? That looks pretty neat.
Yeah, that's the one. I think he has the smirk on his face.
Yeah, and it's more old school. It's not like fresh movie. It's like more cookie. Hello, somebody dropped something.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Yeah, it's your fault. Stop it. Stop dropping it. Oh, okay. Here's the okay. I just now find the one with the Paul Rudd with the helmet off. And dude, you are right. Yeah.
Yeah, the Lost looks pretty cool too.
Yeah. Oh, there's Moon Knight. Moon Knight's been out for a little while, hasn't he?
Moon Knight's been around for a while.
I'm getting a variation of everything here on the Googles.
Just like an insane amount. Like they're doing Bishop, they're doing Omega Red, like Cloak and Dagger. Just like they all look amazingingly.
Small tangent here. What happened to the Cloak and Dagger show that was going to happen? Did that just quit or?
I don't know.
I think wait, was that actually Cloak and Dagger? Or is that that was Cloak and Dagger?
Yeah, it was.
I think it's going to be on some random streaming service. Now, excuse me. Now, is this the Ant-Man with the Antony, the winged ant? Is that new? Is that what this wave? No, that's 2015. Never mind. 2015. Everything. It's a huge mix of stuff. I couldn't find the Sentinel though, but
there's two Ant-Mans. There's the one that's with the Wasp 2-pack, and then there's
that's more Ant-Man classic style
with
movie Ant-Man.
Yellow Jacket.
Yes, so that looks pretty cool.
One is more of like Ant-Man from the cinematic universe. The other one's more Giant Man. You can tell like the difference is like their mouthpieces.
Yeah. Oh, what about the Spider-Man stuff we saw? You got some Venom stuff. You got Spider-Man.
Carnage I'm stoked for because I never actually got a Marvel Legends Carnage because everybody wanted to charge like triple price for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm stoked for that. And the Venom is a monstrosity. But the Build-A-Figure on the box, they showed like one of the boxes saying it's like Monster Venom is the Build-A-Figure. So I'm pretty stoked to see what that's going to turn into.
Probably a Monster Venom.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping it's like the massive, like Hulking style Venom, and not really like, hey, I look like a monster, but I have the Venom spider on my chest.
Yeah. What about Spider-Ham? Is it going to be? Is he going to be like its own separate? Is he his own separate thing, or is that going to be an add-on, like somebody?
He's his own separate figure, and he comes with like that Venom version of the head, like the boar head. I don't even really know much about Spider-Ham, but I'm like, it seems like they're trying to run off the gimmick of like how Howard the Duck was.
Yeah, it is. He's just in a Marvel universe that everybody's picks. I'm sure. Is that actually anti-Venom? Is that anti-Agent Venom? Is that what that is?
Which one?
Well, it's behind.
Is it
Carnage.
white with like the weird black tentacle stuff?
Yes.
I think it's one of his little symbiote buddies, but I'm not.
Because it's anti-Venom colors, but it looks like it's Agent Venom. It's weird.
It almost looks a little armored, but I'm not a big fan of like the whole symbiote figures because at that time it was when like the game came out, like Maximum Carnage, Venom and Carnage were hot, so they're like, let's add more symbiote characters and let's make them different colors and try to do that. And I didn't. Yeah,
that is the huge gimmick there, realistically. Yeah. Oh wow. I never saw it before. It's not new, but I just now saw the Blade figure. It has the exact same coat that the Spider-Man War has. That's way old. That's way old. Like I said, Google's coming up with everything. But that's pretty cool. Dennis, you were telling me you saw some stuff in there. Some arms.
Well, I think I was talking about there was a Japanese expo that actually recently happened. I think I got that confused with the toy fair.
That's all good. It's okay if you get confused.
Yeah.
Actually, well, let's go ahead and talk about it anyway, since we're talking Gundam, whatever, Bandai. You're sort of hinting at it there about the Power Ranger thing, and that's a huge thing. Basically, Saban has more or less parted ways with Bandai as their main producer of Power Rangers stuff. So that means big news in the toy world, at least for Power Rangers collectors like myself. And I know you've got a few things there, Art, but I think, is it true that Hasbro is the one who picked up the gauntlet for that? Or at least the first one?
Pretty sure that's what everybody, I've been reading a lot saying that Hasbro took it, which I mean could be a really good thing, could be a really bad thing. We'll see, because I mean Bandai, in my opinion, was doing pretty well with some of the stuff they were releasing.
Yeah, for the most part, but you and I have both seen how garbagey the legacy figures have been lately. Not just in the fact of the Velveeta Cheese Ranger, but the crappy joints, the fact that the figures are being damaged permanently by their packaging just says something about the quality of the figure. And the remolds and retreads constantly of the same thing instead of reinventing the wheel. Giving it to somebody new, I think it's a good idea.
True. I mean, at least with Hasbro, I feel like releasing the Rangers with their weapons, I feel the weapons would connect.
Yeah, yeah. The fact, yeah. Let's release these special edition legacy figures, and the weapons don't combine into the Power Blaster.
And they're made out of gummies.
Oh my god, dude! That's soft ass plastic, man. I mean, it's great because the packaging can't actually really damage that. But you never opened it, but you had the Pink Ranger with the actual arrow. That I think it was. I don't even know what it was made out of. It felt like clay. It may as well have been blue tack painted silver.
That's awful.
God, so bad. But yeah, just gummy. And the fact that with Marvel and all the other ones, DC, all those guys who make the same kind of 6-inch line, the $20 lines, most of the time you get more accessories and you get alternate hands and you get stuff like that. But the Power Rangers figures, they just leave you with the things. If you guys have seen any of my reviews, I'm always critical of it. While they'll get some of the details right, and Bandai is usually second to none on gold and silver things, I think that handing it over to like Hasbro, hopefully if Hasbro doesn't go all transforming with it, it should be good.
Hasbro's going to turn it into, instead of painting, let's cast it in plastic.
Hey, as long as I cast it in something that ain't Velveeta, maybe it'll be okay. Because hopefully they can cast it in a gold that isn't garbage.
Yeah, I mean, they could definitely do that. They have some really nice, like, metallic-y style plastics that they use that are pretty impressive, honestly. But yeah, I just feel it's lazy toy making.
Yeah. But I think also the fact that I don't think every line is going, because obviously they're just giving up the monopoly over it is really what they're giving up. It's not saying that Bandai's never going to produce anything Power Rangers ever again. So we're hoping that they stay with the Soul Chigokin line, because I got to have a Soul Chigokin Titanus next year that's going to cost $500 or $600 so I can have an amazing version of the original Ultra Zord. But I think they're going to stick with the Soul Chigokin, maybe the Legacy Megazords, because they have to keep that going. They started a hell of a snowball that if they just give up halfway, not even halfway, a third of the way, that would be terrible. But, I think it's a good idea. See what somebody else can do with the property, I think it'll be good for the fans who have been let down in the last year or two. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Transformers. Oh yeah, turn down that beard. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm like leaning back, and then like with the camera so high, it was cutting me off. So
eventually, I'm going to end up falling backwards occasionally because my chair didn't lock, and I didn't know it. So that'll be quite amusing. And even though of course you will. Now, while it hasn't been featured yet on my channel, the Power of the Primes stuff, especially the leader class things. I know Dennis, you saw, or Crow, sorry. I said Crow, I didn't say Dennis. You were talking about the Rodimus Prime. You said you really wanted that figure, and yeah. I'm highly critical of that because frankly, Hasbro didn't try hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be real evidence when I review it. It should come out next week. Doesn't really matter. Well, that really means nothing compared to this Nerdcast because God knows when I'll actually get this done.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully, like, we saw new lines at Toy Fair from Hasbro when it comes to Transformers. So they've got the Cyberverse figures, which is going to be their new series / toy line.
Mm-hmm.
All super basic stuff.
I seen the Optimal Optimus.
I was getting there.
Okay.
Way to beat me to the point, man. I'm starting at the bottom with the Cyberverse crap, and honestly, that's going to be for kids. It is what it is. You've got actually new classes starting at the bottom, working your way up, and they all have their own dumb gimmicks I don't really care about, to be perfectly honest. But the fact that we're getting almost premium movie quality. No, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Premium quality movie figures, because we know those movies are not premium in any way, shape, or form. But they actually finally, 10, 15 years later, giving us movie figures that are worth a damn, which makes no sense. But they're getting their entire own line of just movie figures that are actually decent. They transform. They look accurate in most of their modes. That's cool. We also saw the next wave of Power of the Primes and the future wave. So the wave 2s are coming out right now with the extra Dinobots. I know Art is excited about that. I too am excited. And you and I are both going to be getting that Perfect Effect Combiner add-on for that.
Both those kits, man.
Dude, yeah, that's gonna. It's almost $100 worth of add-ons for the combiner, but it's gonna make it so much more than what Hasbro put out, and that's one of the things that really matters because Hasbro didn't give us quality. But they also have like Crow said, that Optimal Optimus coming out, which is like a 4 changer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so they got the vehicle, then plane, 8, and
actually it doesn't do plane.
Oh, that's
no. What it does, this is really weird. It does regular base Optimus, like it actually is regular Primal. I don't know how they manage that. So regular Primal, some random vehicle mode that's kind of a truck, kind of a long, strung out thing. Then it does Optimal Optimus Beast mode, which I guess mostly the monkey or the gorilla, and then his bot mode, but no plane mode. It looks cool in its main Optimal Optimus, but the flipping back and forth is going to be so stupid on that. Actually, no, I'm wrong. They have a Transmetal Optimus version in there too. So he's got the flying skateboard.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so I think it's like a 5, like it's almost like a 6 changer. But how they're going to do all that in a single figure when every single one of them is a different color, no idea. So, I mean, unless that was the plan. They showed that, but I think at Toy Fair they only showed it off in the Optimal Optimus configuration. But it should be pretty cool considering that's supposed to be like the crown jewel of this line. That was the one everybody voted for.
But do you think that having figures that can transform into all those different things that it takes away from the actual?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. They're so focused. Well, first of all, like I was just saying, the Power of the Prime's leader classes already suffer because they're triple changers. And every triple changer, you lose one form at least that just absolutely sucks. And for the most part, in these guys, it's their vehicle mode. At least for Optimus, it's the vehicle mode. Rodimus, vehicle mode isn't terrible, but actual Rodimus mode kind of sucks.
I mean, it's better than leader class Soundwave that turned into a base or whatever stupid thing that was.
Oh, well, that's different, though. That was Titan's Return, which that whole line was stupid. Okay, I see right behind you, you have Titan's Return Hot Rod back there on your Transformers shelf. So you know my pain on that one. That one's a garbage figure.
Wait, what do you mean? The little one?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind them too much. Like, I didn't really care for the whole Titan's Return gimmick. I think took away from the head sculpts. Like if you look at like the Power of the Primes, how the head sculpts are just so much better because they don't have to transform.
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about the Titan Master gimmick or the Head Master gimmick realistically. And yeah, you're totally right on that for sure. But the fact that they've given us this, and you have it too. You have the plastic quality of Grimlock's feet is absolutely terrible.
Wait, what do you mean? You're talking about these little?
No, well, that's terrible. I'm talking about the combiner feet.
Oh yeah, I got those. Yeah, right here.
I love that I'm just totally losing my Gundam guys here.
Oh yeah.
Just so you know what you're getting into, Crow, whenever you actually get into those figures, because I know you want Grimlock, but you're waiting until you get to Japan.
Yeah.
It's garbage. Get the perfect effect upgrades while you're at it, because it's going to make it better. It fixes the legs. It actually mostly fixes the legs. But if you're going to get Volcanicus, it fixes all of the things.
Is that the War for Cybertron, or are you talking about the Power of the Primes?
Power of the Primes.
Oh, okay.
No, though definitely, if you don't have the Planet X figures,
those are the ones I want. I want the Planet X ones.
Get all of the Planet X Dinobots. Which, quick tangent, by the way, because you guys know I love me some Planet X, but their quality, and it has to be the fact that they picked a new factory making their stuff. Their plastic feels cheaper, and while their paintwork is technically upgraded, it's a little sloppier in places and not quite as consistent as it used to be. And I'm not the only reviewer that's noticed it. A lot of people who got the Megatron, which is their newest version or newest figure, all say the same thing. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel like the same quality, and like the transformation isn't anywhere near as fun. Like a lot of the things people loved about Planet X has gone downhill in this latest wave. And actually, I've got a couple of the newer figures down here. I haven't reviewed them yet, but I feel that realistically, and those are just repaints.
But I mean, that same thing sort of happened with Hasbro. I mean, their plastic quality was just dwindling down to like gummy type of, plastics and stuff.
The Titans Return line is really not good for the plastics. Like, actually, that Hot Rod, in my opinion, feels like a McDonald's toy.
Oh yeah, it's super lightweight, and I mean that's why it's posed up. I'm probably not gonna, transform it again.
But I don't think there's going to be any better Hot Rod than that Masterpiece one. Like I love that kid's toy so much.
Which one do you have? Do you have the newest Hot Rod by himself, or is it the Rodimus Prime one?
No, it's just the one by himself, not Rodimus.
Okay, yeah, I agree. That one is actually really well done. Mm-hmm. A lot of people complain that its chest is too flat, like it doesn't come out enough. But yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
That fishing pole, though.
That fishing pole, though. That's right. If you guys want a Masterpiece Transformer that comes with its own damn fishing pole, and then you use that with the Daniel that you got with Bumblebee. And
I got that.
Yeah. Did you get it at the Toys R Us price? Or
no, I got it at Con, so it was like $30, $35, $40, something like that.
I hate you. I paid full price on mine.
For the Bumblebee?
Yeah. They paid full $80 or $60.
Oh god!
It wasn't $80. That was Blue Streak was $80. Which actually bringing it up, they're finally bringing back another American Generations Masterpiece one later this year, and it's Prowl. So we finally get the next one in the American Masterpiece line, which it doesn't even matter anymore because Takara and Hasbro are the same company at this point. So we can't even wait for the Takara to be better. Like everybody was hoping that there would be an amazing Takara version of the new Power of the Primes Rodimus, and nope, it's going to be exactly the same. Sorry. Which that sucks because I could see Takara going to town and fixing a lot of the problems with that toy. But realistically, why bother going with mainline anyways when you can just buy the knockoff? And that's a segue. That's the best thing. Yes. All right, guys. So basically, that is the main topic tonight. We are talking about knockoff and even third-party companies because it sort of all ties in together. And this lovely group of gentlemen I've assembled have all been sort of in there with it, and it's buying. They're all guilty in some way of buying either third party or knockoff, or definitely have an opinion on it. Actually, Crow, your live stream the other night, you were wanting to talk about it, and I just like, hey, we're literally about to do a nerdcast about it. You want
in? Yeah, I was about to go on a tangent about it.
That's all good, buddy. I mean, yeah, you talked about it actually in great length. I was like, okay, this is your channel. Go ahead. It's like, but save that steam. Like, save some of that steam for the nerdcast. All right, so basically, a little preface for this. What happened was about almost a month ago at this point, I was driving home from my parents' house, and I did a rant about KOs and stuff like that specifically. Now, Art down there, I showed it to him and asked him if I should put it out or not, and he said no for the most part. And I was already feeling very reticent about it because there was some, would you say heated language in that?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was language. It's just more, I think anybody that was new to your channel wouldn't understand it.
It was abrasive, to say the least. I got very heated with it, even not even just in the language, but how I went about it. So I said, hey, you know what? Why don't we have a discussion about this? Because you, in particular, had just purchased a particular knockoff toy.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's okay. I'm not going to hold it against you. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. That's why I'm not gonna ring you for it just yet. But I wanted to bring up the whole reason the discussion came up in the first place. You can put it down. Put it down. I don't want to see it right now. You put that away. You put it away. Anyways, so what happened was I was in a particular infamous Transformers Facebook group, and somebody had posted a whole topic about, hey, the new MP Dinobot that's coming out is the most expensive masterpiece at least $230, at least. And they're like, why the hell should it cost so much? And you know what? Why bother for this when I could just wait for the knockoff, because it's just going to be just as good anyways. And that started the biggest thread I've ever seen. And of course, I jumped in with my opinion because basically, you know, I said, look, you're not even giving it a chance and you're already saying you're going to wait for the knockoff. That's messed up. And then it started out on specifically what you've got there, Art, with the infinite should be infamous transformation at this point,
right?
Infinite transformation Megatron knockoff, which yes, I before, hold on, everybody look at me right here, it's a good figure, but it's a knockoff. Anyways, I wanted to get that out of the way first. So while it is good, it is done well, it is a knockoff. However, we'll get into more of it, but that was their main argument, that knockoffs have gotten so good that you shouldn't have to wait for, or shouldn't pay for the original, because it doesn't make any sense for it to cost so much. And my original argument is, if you don't know what goes into making this thing, the development costs, somebody had to design this thing, somebody had to literally sculpt it out or 3D print it, somebody had to figure out the painting, somebody had to figure out the enormous amount of accessories that Dinobot comes with, which you've seen it, Art. Does that thing not come with everything that it should?
It is probably one of the most impressive masterpiece Transformers I've seen. Like, to be able to turn the thing into a full-on Raptor and like have it look smooth as they possibly can with that type of figure, I think it's worth that price point, hands down.
Have you seen it? A couple months, middle of summer, I believe.
Yeah, 'cause I am buying it. I don't care about the price. I'm buying it.
Okay. See, that's exactly what. Hold on, no. Explain that though, Dennis or Crow.
So, I mean, it's kind of goes into the same realm of Bandai and how I feel with the Gunpla stuff. But when it comes to anything original, I think that it's important to support the original branding, because you gotta treat it like a friend. If your friend created something for you and he charged you, because he created it, but you're like, you know what, I see what you made, but the guy over there took your idea, made it a little bit cheaper. I don't know who he is, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give him some money because it's cheaper, a little bit worse quality, but you know what? It's the same thing.
But I'm going to say
yeah, you're saving a couple of bucks, but you're still screwing over someone or something or an organization that really puts a lot of their time and energy out there to make good products. And whether it is Bandai or Takara or it's Hasbro, whatever, these are companies that we all grew up with. So why would you give them the middle finger just because, they have to charge a little bit more? I mean, you got other factors, inflation, they got to pay their damn employees money, they got to keep, the machines everything up to date and everything in check. So yeah, I'm paying money for a Goodwill product, but also for the promise of better products in the future. That's the way I look at
it. That's actually a good point on the better products in the future. But I wanted to get into what you said. You know, it's like not just the fact that it's like an old friend that you know is doing something, but the idea of the stuff, everything that goes into it. And this is the main argument against KOs. Realistically, we're not going to pick on you yet, Arthur.
Oh, great! That's why I'm here to get picked on.
No. You're here to you're here to actually talk the other side, even though we've all been there. We all have a different side kind of in this, and that's why it's an interesting idea. But my argument in the whole video was, okay, and one major rumor about this Dinobot is it went through most of its development, didn't come out as good as it should have, and got scrapped, and they had to start over again. And a lot of people be like, well, that's not our problem. We're the consumer. I'm like, no, that is your problem. They could have given you a substandard thing, but they said, no, it's not good enough for our customers. And they went back to the drawing board and made something that was phenomenal, at least in images, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's the biggest masterpiece Beast Wars figure we've gotten by a long shot. And he towers over Prime. So he's obviously going to cost more. He has a light-up gimmick in the head. He has, 3 swappable faces, if I remember correctly. The golden disc, his sword, which, if it was motorized, that would be awesome, but who knows.
Right.
If it actually spun, that'd be phenomenal.
That'd be so cool.
The Raptor, yeah, it's the weakest mode, but it's Beast Wars. It's going to be what it is. However, it's the best version, bar none, that has ever existed of Dinobot, period. And hopefully I've got pictures on the screen for this if I remember to actually edit this worth a damn. But the fact that you get this quality, and like everybody loves Dinobot, let's just be honest. He's one of probably the most famous Beast Wars characters, if not for one episode, you know. But you know, the fact that they did it so well, the fact they're giving us quality Beast Wars for really the first time ever, let's be honest. Outside of the leader classes from way back when, you weren't getting quality on those. So now we're getting these things. And yeah, he's stupid expensive. He costs more than Megatron. And Megatron was the most expensive. But the main argument, and I brought this up to you, Art, you can't repaint him. That's one of the main costs that goes into that. If they have a figure that can be repainted 7 different ways or a mild remold, and he can just keep going. I mean, look at the Seekers. The Seekers cost like chump change because there's 900 of them. You know, you just do a mild repaint on it. You get your Acid Rain version. You get all kinds of other stuff. And that's fine. Even Optimus, you get remolds and you get recolors. You get well, basically you get just Optimus alone. You get the Shattered Glass version. You get the Nemesis Prime. You get even Ultra Magnus, technically speaking, because you have the core of Ultra Magnus as a Prime repaint. And just endless versions. Even if you want to go into one of the most expensive versions of Prime, the Evangelion version. The EVA 01. But yeah. But Dinobot's only probably going to get repainted into one of those, like, I don't even remember what series, Grimlocks. So yeah, it's going to be more expensive. Now, just to go there, in this particular case, Art, would you get the regular, or would you get or get the knockoff in the case of Dinobot? I'm putting you on the spot.
Can I dabble into my infinite transformation a little bit and get into the Dinobot one as well?
Yeah, of course, because that's half the point here. Because your infinite transformation Megatron is the main argument here on the side of KO supporters. And I'm not going to knock you for it because, like I said, they did good.
So everything that Crow said, 100%. I agree 100% due to the fact that, I mean, Shoki, you do graphic design, I do art as well. It's the same thing, like if I design something and somebody's like, oh, you know, I didn't really care for it, but then they take that and they go to somebody else and have them do it, and then they just fine tune it and they get it less. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. So it's like a good view of like what these KOs do for the companies and things like that. So my situation was, I think, ignorance. And I'll flat out say it. I mean, I review a lot of figures, Transformers, and like the whole Masterpiece line I was very uneducated with. So I really didn't know what the official price was. And I didn't really, it was just sort of like it was too late by the time I already invested into this, you know? Yeah, I got it. I like it. But knowing like what I know now after finally, you know, discussing it with you and other collectors and just sort of having conversations about it and actually getting educated on these masterpieces and that certain prices are, you know, normal prices.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I would have,
yeah.
I would probably sell this one and then reinvest that into the original. Granted,
I wouldn't even tell you to do that, honestly.
No, I mean, I probably wouldn't, but I'm saying like that's how much I would support, like, because Hasbro.
Oh, you're flip flopping now. That's what it is. You're flip flopping. You guys are here.
No, I'm not really. I was never really one sided. I mean, it was at the time like I googled
flip flopping.
I googled it. Everything was like crazy prices. I didn't know what was like official pricing.
Yeah.
So I just ended up going with, you know,
the expensive one. The expensive one was the original. That's really what it is. The one that costs more than double what you paid is the official.
But I saw triple what I paid too. Like I saw something like 300 and stuff like that.
Those
and
are
then I stumbled across that one freaking YouTube video done by that Ben guy who totally was like selling the crap out of this thing.
First of all, shout out to Ben's Collectibles. Because I do like Ben. If I could have got him on here, that would have been amazing. Because he literally has a KO channel now. Ben's KO Electables, you know, which is fine. He's a huge supporter of KOs and in a good way. But go ahead and finish.
But yeah, so like with the Infinite Transformation, definitely cost is always nice too and things like that. But with like the Dinobot, I would go original. 100% because I've dabbled in KOs, and anytime I do a review, if it's a KO, I always say it's a KO. I tell everybody it's a KO. I don't ever claim it not to be a KO. And I've dabbled in KOs, taking chances on SH Figure Arts KOs and other things, and I've had a lot of garbage. And so
now, I just want to ask you because I haven't seen everything on there. Say you got picked up a KO of a Figure Arts figure. I mean, is it the paint quality that sucks? Is it your plastic just not up to snuff, or did they just like garbagified the whole thing?
Garbagified the whole thing. Like it was again before I started knowing about the SH Figure Arts, things like that. I was like, oh, I really like the Naruto, and I'm like, these guys look cool, and they're like inexpensive on eBay. Bought like Sasuke and Naruto. I got them. And the first thing that happened was Sasuke broke into pieces.
Oh, like the figure just completely fell apart on you?
Yeah. Like everything fell apart. Like one of the joints was actually like glued in where it wouldn't bend. And it was just overall just cheap and trash.
It was almost like a shitty garage kit.
It was worse. It was like, it's like, here's the pieces, build your own figure. You know,
and not in a good way.
Not in a good way at all.
Not in that $20 premium price that we all pay.
Right. And what I mean, and then you look at SH Figure Arts how they are now. Now I know it's like when you get it, it needs to have that nice plastic in between, and like, you know, it's got to be. It's a lot nicer, and you can see where your money goes.
You're paying for a $60 figure. You really are when it comes to Figure Arts. Well, you know that's funny because like I keep passing up the Dragon Ball Superstars line, which is in that same $20 6-inch figure line, because it's not any. I mean, while it looks great, you don't get the Figure Arts stuff. You might get a Build-A-Figure and you get 2 extra hands that's just doing this, but how do you get a Dragon Ball figure that doesn't have a beam effect of some sort?
Exactly.
And if you're gonna exactly, and if you're gonna give, and just as an aside here, guys, and I think I mentioned this in a vlog that hasn't come out yet. If you're gonna give us a Build-A-Figure Shenron, also give every single figure in the line a Dragon Ball, so that you can actually summon your little freaking Shenron. I think that would be worth it.
That Shenron was a joke anyway, and SH Figure Arts pooped all over it because they made this tiny little Shenron, and it's like...
I agree that the Build-A-Figure Shenron is garbage compared to Figure Arts. If I had the money, and here we go again, if I had the money for it, now, mind you, I tend to have the money, but it's all allocated to all the other plastic things I buy. But the Figure Arts Shenron is amazing. Let's just be honest. And I guarantee you, there's a knockoff of it somewhere on eBay I could probably look it up right now, to be perfectly honest.
And it's going to be garbage and fall apart.
Yeah, probably. Now, what we're really going to talk about, though, is the quality of KOs getting better, which the infinite transformation really, I keep saying infinite. Okay, I'm thinking of, there's another one that is transformation. It's not transformation. It is better. Let's just be honest. Like, or it's on par with the master grade. And that's coming from a lot of people, not just Ben's Collectibles, who just absolutely swims in fake plastic. But, you know, when it's garbage, at least in his case, I feel that he actually tells you it's garbage. Because he even gets that shampoo bottle plastic, like they say, you know, that really crap soft plastic. But in his case, he also has all the other KO Masterpiece Megatrons. And he says that at least that version is as good as the normal one with the effects chip, the lights, the paint is actually very well done. Not to mention the extra accessories, which is the main reason anybody wants it. So you can get that backpack cover to get rid of really shitty kibble on the back of Masterpiece Megatron. And then you're, what is it, the Crimzeek or whatever the heck they call that thing?
Yeah, the extra Crimzeeks. You get the two like scopes or whatever that have the sound chips in them.
Yes,
one of mine doesn't even light up. Which
one of them doesn't, if I remember correctly. Anyways,
I thought they were supposed.
Both supposed to. Well, there's the normal fusion cannon, and there's that other one that's like a different design. If it doesn't, hey, if it doesn't light up, right? You know, email somebody.
But this
KOs are shitty.
Yeah. So infinite transformation should be perfect because all it is like it's a copy. It's exactly
a straight
100% copy. It's, you know,
yeah,
subtle changes, but it's still a copy.
Yeah, well, I mean, like everything about the mold is exactly the same. Except, and in your case, you really want one that actually has the Decepticon emblem, especially for the damage chest. And there is a KO company that does that. They just say, screw it, we're putting on the regular logo anyways. We don't care. You know, we don't care about prosecution,
that's risky.
It is risky because mainline companies, and we've seen it, we've definitely seen it on both sides, like in the Gunpla side and even on the well, lots of toys realistically, where they just blatantly make it a straight knockoff. And guys, let's just make it clear: a knockoff, for anybody who doesn't realize this, and I think there are people who don't, it is when you straight up copy somebody's original work. And that's the part that really got me angry. And like same thing you were talking about, Art, when it comes down to making something. When you are a creator and you made something that's wholly you, and then you sell it, and then somebody turns around saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take this apart piece by piece, recreate it exactly, and make a profit off of it, because I can sell it for a third of the price because I don't have the development cost.
One big argument I have against people that support knockoffs, and it's not to say I don't 100% not support the knockoffs. Like there's some companies like Sun Toys, they made some amazing kits that Bandai has never touched, and they're completely 100% original. The only thing that they're stealing is the actual
Well, I was going to get into the idea of the IP borrowing whenever we talk third party, because third party is where that infringement gets a little bit weird. And we're going to talk about that because it really does affect actually Mitchell's sponsorship a little bit with the companies that he works with. And we saw that with the Ultron.
The only thing I was going to say about that is like a lot of the people that say, the knockoff stuff is fine, blah, 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 we still support Bandai. It's like, well, why is it whenever someone takes a photo, like whenever a guy takes a photo of his kit, and even it might even have his watermark or whatever, but then someone takes it and puts it on their Instagram and don't cite the source, why do they make a big fuss out of it?
Well, when they technically rip off the photo that somebody took and then they don't, Actually, there's, irony, a lot of groups, especially Facebook groups, because I don't even know how many Gundam groups I'm in at this point. People really crack down on that. Hey, this is my picture. Because there was one guy, it was actually his kit. He took the picture. It was his custom kit he made, and somebody else was blowing it up. And they'd used it on their YouTube channel and claimed it was somebody else. It was a mistake. But they eventually fixed it. But you're right. But why is it a big deal when somebody does that? But it's not a big deal to go over here and buy a knockoff kit. And we'll get into the kits because it's two different worlds when it comes to Gunpla and then toys, but it's also not. It's the same concept but done in different ways. And when it comes to, and I just wanted to bring this up because where third party, not third party, when knockoff companies actually are kind of doing a good service, when they do something different with their knockoff, that's when I start thinking that it's not terrible. When it's a straight copy, yeah, screw those people. Yeah. And screw and this is where I got into that words. If you are going for the knockoffs because you absolutely refuse to pay, not because you can't afford it, because I always say you can afford it if you put it off. I don't really want to be a dick in saying that, but I myself have to save or I have to sell off some stuff to go buy this other things. Like this big boy right up here, wherever he is. Apocalypse right up here. That is not a cheap figure. That is one of the most expensive Planet X figures there are. I sold off all of my video gaming stuff to buy him because I didn't want to put him on a credit card,
And what did I do recently, Shoki, that you helped me sort of move? I sold all 5 of my legacy.
Oh, your range. Oh, did you get them sold? I didn't ask. What did it go in what, like an hour and a half or so? Or
listen, I had a lot of people trying to lowball me, but I mean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody, come on, pay retail at least. For somebody who's selling, pay retail. And this is the other thing. Hey, look, we all love to save money, believe me. And if Dog will tell you, like I saw him yesterday posting 50% off on Marvel Legends figures at Target, which by the way, go snag that coupon. It's amazing. If you're into figures and stuff like that, by all means save money, but buy official.
But I also should have read your that group's guidelines because I didn't know you guys force or tell people to use goods and services when purchasing.
Oh, did they actually do that? Yes. I didn't notice because I've always had people just do it.
I lost $4. I was like, dude, what'd you do? Why? And he's like, oh, what's the rules of the
That's
thing?
so dumb.
Like, really?
Let's just be honest. The group shouldn't be able to dictate that because it's business between you and me, But that's just neither here nor there. But I guess what we're all trying to say is buy official when you can. But there are definitely reasons to buy knockoffs. Let's say toys at least. With your Megatron, you didn't know any better, but you also knew this thing had been reviewed and was good. And let's be honest, it is good. It is good for what it is, right?
It's very good. Like the fact that when I spent the hour and 15 minutes putting the thing into gun mode because it was a pain, like nothing.
That's nothing new.
Nothing on it took like stress fractures. None of the paint was chipping. Everything, even when I was sitting there trying to figure out how twist to pop and all that stuff, like it didn't damage the figure at all.
Which is impressive because even the official does get paint chips whenever you're transforming it. But to me, at least, that actually adds character. If it's not like a terrible, like, oh hey, this whole thing just cracked in half. But and I'll be the first one to admit it. And I said it earlier. Hasbro, Takara, some of their quality has gone down. If you actually watch Bobby Skullface when he talks about the quality of the MPs going down over the years, and basically Soundwave was the last really amazing one. And it's from there, but they're coming back. He literally started at the beginning and worked his way up. Where you have an MP10, right? You got the Toys R Us MP10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a great figure, but it's been around forever, But there's still knockoffs of that, and that's one of the things I wanted to bring up with good knockoffs, because you got companies like Weijing and Zhujiang, where they do the KO oversized.
I got a Squeaks.
Yes, you have that awesome Squeaks.
My Deadpool is
riding
chilling on.
He's riding him. Which put Master Chief on Squeaks in the next video just for fun. That's a silent shout out. Which, by the way, guys, if you don't know, I gave him my custom Master Chief figure that I painted up. It looks so good. But now it means I have to get another one to actually custom up even further. But in my opinion, personally, and this is just me, if you're at least taking the step to change the product, even if it means you're blowing it up to a new size class, I think that's something new, because you're not literally taking exactly the same thing and putting it out. Because upscaling doesn't necessarily mean you just set it on 20% bigger on the copy machine and you get exactly the same thing. You actually have to engineer things a little bit different. You might have to beef up the plastic. Sometimes you have to actually alter the design a little bit so that it actually functions on a different size scale. And actually, Weijing, if I remember correctly, they did a downscaled version of MP10. It's actually a Voyager sized. MP10, and it's awesome, but they actually have had to alter the design of the figure. There's certain things like the amount of leg vents on his shins is actually different on the smaller one because it didn't scale down properly in every aspect. You get what I'm saying? So whenever if you go to that point, or even there's I don't think I have it written down here, the actual name of the company, but they're doing the upscale Combiner Wars figures, but they're actually improving the figures as they go through. The paint is way better than Combiner Wars. The joints are better than the Combiner Wars, but it's essentially the exact same thing. To me, that's better. You're almost making that a more third party than a knockoff.
But I mean,
does that make sense?
The squeaks that I got, I mean, I didn't really see anything that was different than the small version.
Yeah, that's not a huge difference, though. I mean, that is also.
I feel if they're not adding parts to it and they're just upscaling it, I mean, that would be like taking somebody's piece of art, and even though it was the size of so many inches, but I blew it up.
Yeah,
it's still would be sort of very similar to it's basically the same thing.
However, I'll make a minor argument there. If you copied someone's say poster or something and they blew it up, however they didn't actually increase the DPI, and you start seeing the crappiness of the image just because it got blown up. Now that same thing applies to a figure. If you upscale it, you'll start seeing a lot of the issues. So it takes work to clean that up to make it look better on a bigger scale. I know it's a weird argument, but I think it also applies when it comes to physical things in plastic. It
looks like
I could be wrong.
Thing to say. What was Crow's view on?
Yeah, what do you think, Dennis?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much exactly right.
I mean, if they make the effort to actually make a change to it, even what if it's like a full repaint? Like it's not even remotely the same thing, but it's the same figure. That's on that borderline of they actually put in some work.
Yeah.
But the figure is stolen, more or less. There is gray areas, is what I'm going to say, and also in the fact, and I brought this up, Art, it applies to you because that Ares is one of the first reviews that I saw from you. That was mostly because you had no access to get that figure, the official, right?
Yeah, that was before they announced the reissue to the more comic book accurate one. Yeah, it's because all those parts were like selling on eBay like for crazy high prices because it wasn't in production anymore. And the only reason I sort of invested that direction too is because that person was also doing their own custom stuff to it, their own custom accessories that worked with them, and shields and soft goods, and like wasn't just like, hey, here you got this copy, but you get.
You're glitching out a little bit there, bud. But we heard you. Is he there? Did we lose Art?
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Your face wasn't moving. I didn't know if I lost you. But does that make sense?
I don't even pay attention to that.
Yeah. Does that make sense to everybody else? Where the figure is no longer available. It's been discontinued. So somebody knocked it off. It looks exactly the same, but gave it more stuff, or even maybe tweaked the paint a little bit, something like that. That's that weird gray zone where you don't have access to it, or something that doesn't exist anymore. Now, you made the argument earlier of the IP theft, and that is a huge thing when it comes to third party. And Transformers is probably the biggest thing when it comes to third party, but I guess Gunpla is also right there, taking something that the main company doesn't make, and of course my favorite, Planet X. Bandai doesn't. I'm sorry, Hasbro. Hasbro doesn't make the Fall Cybertron figures. Realistically, they've never made a lot of the ones, or they made them crappy. They put out Grimlock. They never did the rest of the Dinobots, if I remember correctly. But they also never did them on this scale. So they take something that didn't exist and from an IP. Now, if I had my buddy Thomas on here, Mitchell, Thomas, he thinks that any third-party thing is technically theft and will not support it. So forget KOs. He will not support third-party because in his mind it is IP theft. And that is that weird moral gray zone, because if the mainline company is not attacking the producers of third-party stuff, then why should we care? Whereas, Hasbro should crack down on knockoff companies. And we've also seen Bandai totally killing off a knockoff company already once.
Actually, according to the stories, it wasn't Bandai that shut them down.
It was it China? The Chinese government technically shut them down?
According to all the stuff that I read, It was actually Devon that leaked it out and had them shut down.
Okay, so what we're talking about is Dragon Momoko, which was a knockoff / third-party Gunpla company. And let's just say that there have been mixed results in their kits.
Yeah.
They look great, and they've done stuff that Bandai won't do or has not done yet. Like, say, the TV version of Death Scythe. The Testament, you have that one, right, Crow?
Yeah, I got that one. I haven't built it, but
you have it though. See, knockoff sport. I'm just kidding.
Bandai didn't make it yet. So.
Bandai didn't make it yet. However, is that frame based off of a Bandai frame?
Yeah, I think it's based off the Strike RM.
Yeah, that would be where you go with an Astray.
Which one do you got, Crow?
The Testament.
Okay, I got that one sitting up there.
Yeah, you have it too, but you've got a couple others, don't you? Well, I know you both kind of do.
Yeah, I got the DM Tallgeese 3, and I bought that before Bandai released theirs.
Before they released the new one, yeah.
Yeah, and I got I don't know what brand it is, but it's a high grade new Gundam. It's called like the Gundam. I just don't know what the hell it's called though, like its actual name.
There's go ahead.
Yeah, I got the is it Sun Toys? I think it's Sun Toys that made the Ultron.
I think they did do one before Supernova did.
No, Supernova. That's the one I got.
Okay, so you actually have one. Okay.
Yep, and then I got the Dragon Momoko Death Scythe.
Okay, because Sun Toys is a thing. I just don't remember what they do. Now we have featured it before. We've actually had the Ultron, of course. Mr. InkedGunpla there, Mr. InkedGunpla was on for that review. And going down that route, realistically, the biggest knockoff company and you brought it up already, Mitchell, Daban, is basically the biggest knockoff company for Gunpla that we can probably see. They are the most straight ripoffs. Yeah. Straight remolds. They literally take the runners, toss them into a molding machine, and pump out an exact runner. And the biggest thing that there has been for that has got to have been the PG unicorns. Yeah. Because they were a third of the price of the regular perfect grade unicorn.
And actually, I believe their Phoenix came out before Bandai's did.
It came out. I don't know. No, it wasn't their Phoenix. I think it was somebody else's. No, you're right.
The bands. They had.
No, you're right. You're right because I know what the only thing they did, because I know what they did there. They just took the Banshee. They took the Banshee's armor DE, duplicated it, and made their own backpack and fin. That's how they got that. But they beat Bandai to the punch on their own thing. But it's literally almost exactly the same, minus the foil, minus the chrome. Which realistically, if you've got the Phoenix, actually, Art, if you haven't seen it, if you can, real quick, Google PG Phoenix or perfect grade Phoenix, and that's how's it spelled? It's PHENEX. Yeah, Phoenix. Yeah. And it is absolutely beautiful, but you're probably going to pull it up. But even their box art, they literally copy the box art, except for they change the spelling and they put their own logo, which looks almost exactly like the Bandai logo. Yeah. But I get, and let's be straightforward here, I understand the reasoning for buying the cheaper thing. I get it. Everybody wants to save that dime. But in that case, and in some cases, the Dragon Momokos, and I've heard this repeatedly from people who built the kits, the quality is not there. Like, the build is nowhere near as good. The plastics aren't anywhere near as good. Did you find it yet, Art?
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now.
Isn't that pretty?
That's insane.
Did you see the price? It's what, $300 for Phoenix, if I remember correctly?
There's one here for $169.
Okay, it dropped.
That's not Bandai.
Well, I don't know. It might have dropped by now.
No, because the difference is, if I remember right, is P Bandai, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Because I could have swore that was like the $600 one.
Yeah, I think the Phoenix was P Bandai.
Yeah, it was like $600 or something like that.
The 7-Eleven version is also that expensive, and that's not even a Phoenix. That's just a unicorn. But then they also have two 7-Eleven PGs, which are both pretty, and I honestly wouldn't blame anybody for trying to save money on those. But if you're not getting the quality, I don't even understand why you would bother. If you do get the quality in a knockoff, because and for the fact that you can't get the original, because if it is a P Bandai, something that's super limited, you're just not going to get what.
There's one for 1,103.
Okay,
well,
that seller's smoking crack.
Hold on, there's a big middle finger for that guy. Big middle finger for that dude right there. And unless that is signed by Tomino himself, I don't even want to bother. You know. But you know, we got and I think we brought it up earlier. It's not even really a thing anymore. I don't think TT Hongli was also another knockoff company.
They were
also
blatant rip-off.
They were blatant rip-offs.
Yeah,
like they did like Beyblade rip-offs.
They did everything. It was like they were just a knockoff company, and I didn't really go over it all the way. Just right quick, just insert tangent. A bunch of knockoff Transformer companies, because there's no specific knockoff companies that I could find for other figures and stuff. There seems to be more people in garages in China, if I had to guess. But for Transformers, you got Weijing, which is actually, they do a lot of good work and a lot of oversized stuff that I'm not going to complain about, to be honest. Junjiang does the same thing. Black Mamba has their own knockoff series, which if you watch Ben's Collectibles, you'll see all of these things. Let's just totally be honest. Kubenbao, which is, I think they're actually Weijing. I think it's the same company, but they both do oversized knockoffs that are good. Jinbao, which does something different, and then of course you got Infinite Transformation, which I think is probably we're just gonna see more MPs from them in the future. But in the case of, I think the main problem with all of these things is the attitude in the communities, where it's becoming more and more accepted to go purchase said KO, right? Yeah. Is that just really what it is? And like I said a million times already, everybody wants to save a dime to make it happen. And there's the whole concept of, I'm going to buy everything here and then I'm going to sell it for an overblown price online. And we definitely see it on the toy side for sure.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that exact statement, because there's like, in my case, I want a PG unicorn. As much as I hate unicorns, I want a PG just to add to my PG collection.
Yeah, so you're just there.
I ended up liking the design of the DM unicorn over Bandai's design. Just the extra panel lines, the extra detail. It came with the LEDs. It came with a remote to turn them on. So, and I was asking my sponsor for one. He was trying to find me one, because I didn't want to pay for it, for one. So,
yeah,
but
we can't get all of them for free.
It came with everything, and I like the design that it had to it.
And by the way, let's go ahead and give it over. Yeah, let's give a quick shout out to your sponsor, to be honest, just because you're on here, we may as well. GKGundam.com.
Yeah, GKGundamKit.com.
Or is that what it is? Did I get it right?
GKGundamKit.com.
Kits. That's right. Okay. Yeah. So now the main reason that Mitchell is here is because of Supernova, realistically, because his sponsor, they're basically just a company. They sell Gundam kits, obviously, but they have Supernovas, and Supernova's in that weird gray area of being a knockoff and a third party. And we talked about it in the review when we really looked at them side by side. Because what Supernova does is take somebody's own custom and turn it into a marketable kit. So somebody already made a custom Gundam kit, and then they take it, they scan it, they do whatever, and then they mass produce that. So it's a weird area of, it's literally a Bandai kit, but it's been modified, but it's being sold that way as its own thing. Now, they're not trying to sell it as, hey, this is your original kit by any means.
No.
So, but your frame is the same, and as we saw, a lot of the parts are the same. And I'm still waiting on you to finish your damn Sandrock so we can do that comparison too.
It's up here on the.
It's on the list. All the things.
Halfway built.
Just like all the other things. But the fact that they take, if it wasn't for the fact, there you go. You'll see the similarities, and the frame is almost identical, with the exception of the center part that we discovered was extended to make a longer torso, which means there's more plastic in there. And like I said, it's a weird gray area. It is technically a knockoff because they're directly taking Bandai's engineering. However, they're not copying what Bandai put out. They're taking what somebody made from Bandai stuff and putting that out. So it's a really strange in between area. And it's like, what do you think about that, Crow? Because you have the Supernova.
Yeah.
You do what it's saying where it's that weird in between.
I get it.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just pointing it out.
It's not. It's definitely not a bad thing because the I keep on forgetting what it's called, but the Ultron I got, the Supernova one, it's a really amazing design, and I think it really gives me something that is different than what Bandai has given me, because the one that they have, which I have purchased, it's a great kit, but I don't know, just the Supernova one, it takes it to a whole different level with the articulation.
There's more.
Like way more.
Over design to it.
And the baseline I would say that is, if there's a drastic change, I think it's worth it, and I wouldn't consider it a knockoff. But if it's a very subtle change, then no, it'd just be a knockoff at that point.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say something like he was talking about the unicorn, where it's just some new panel lines, but otherwise it's identical, or maybe a mild head remold. Is that really more of a knockoff? I mean, obviously it is a knockoff company that made it, but
I would say that's a knockoff.
Yeah, I would say it is, because it's not drastic.
It's not a complete redesign, and that's the argument that and Shoki saw an argument I had with somebody, Mr. Third Party, not a third party.
Oh God, that guy. Okay, well, please go off on a tangent about Mr. Third Party, not a third party, because
he's not a bad guy. He really.
Oh, he's not a bad guy, but holy crap,
his whole thinking of things. Here's a guy. His company does resin upgrade kits, conversion kits,
which is a third party deal.
Yeah, which is a third party deal. But he's claiming he's not a third party because you have to buy the original Bandai kit to put the resin kit on. And I said, but if somebody has a bootleg kit, they can put your stuff on.
It'll still fit.
So you're still. Well,
but he's arguing, and I got into this argument with him. I forget if it was public or I was talking to him directly.
Oh, yeah, it was
public. It was in the group. Yeah, actually, that was a Houston.
It was in the Houston Gundam Club.
It was Houston Gundam Club, and I'm like, dude, you are a third-party company. That's not a bad thing by any means. I'm not calling you a knockoff. I flat out tell him you are not a knockoff maker because you're making resin conversion kits, and you're right. You have to buy the original, and clearly that's awesome. And in the case of Perfect Effect, where me and Art come in, we're gonna buy third-party add-ons and conversions for our mainline Transformers to make them awesome, because clearly we're being shortchanged.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with what the guy was saying.
He was just so adamant
saying it.
Dude,
and the whole thing that started it was because he made a comment. I always post whip pics.
Yeah.
And he come in on one of my posts and he was like, "Oh, so now this group does knockoff stuff." And I was like,
yeah, because it was your Ultron. Well, you had gotten your Ultron. That's what started it.
So, well, what exactly makes this kid a knockoff over
versus what you
do?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, it's intellectual property." It's okay. Well, I could understand that, but this is a completely redesigned kit, so calling it a knockoff isn't exactly correct. But then he turns around and makes a post of his company's all the third-party stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, you're a third-party kit, but you're bashing other third-party kits.
I'm not third-party. We come up with our own original stuff.
I'm not third-party. I'm like, but you are third-party because you're not Bandai.
Yeah. So you're not the original party.
It was like a 6-day ordeal.
And it was just circular logic. He just kept coming back to it. Didn't matter who told him what. He just kept going back to it. And like I said, good guy.
He was set in his ways. Yeah,
has anybody bought his stuff?
I have one of his conversion kits here, actually.
Which one is it?
It's
the for everybody who doesn't know. For everybody who doesn't know, you can totally buy resin conversion kits.
I don't know if you can see the label.
I don't know what it is though. What
His company is called SimPro. This is for the Roselle Type C Master Grade.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's a good kit, anyways.
Yeah, well, I'm looking for one. So.
The Type C. Oh no, they have the regular Roselle at Hobbytown right now.
Yeah, Dion told me they had some on order, but I mean his resin kits are gorgeous.
They're good.
They're
I mean, yeah.
gorgeous. And I'm not going to knock them for that.
No, let's be honest.
They're
That's
nice.
not a knockoff. Unless he
No,
copied
it's
someone
not.
else's resin kit.
No, what his company does is his company has people that build this custom piece, and then they cast a resin copy of the custom work. They have artists that sit there and build custom pieces.
Yes, exactly.
So if that's the case and that's okay, why isn't Supernova okay? Because they're just taking something that somebody custom built and made it into a whole kit instead of as an add-on.
Yeah, that's where the Supernova argument is. It's a knockoff, but it's also third party. Oh, and just real quick on that tangent, have you guys heard of fourth party figures yet, or fourth party things?
No.
I don't think the Gundam community can handle a fourth party.
Fourth party is a knockoff of a third party thing. So now you're knocking off a third party figure. That makes you fourth party. And I love that term. It's so funny. By the way, who is second party?
I don't know, but I'm almost out of crown.
All right. Are there any other points we've sort of missed on this KO/third party wagon here? Is there anything anybody else has to offer or add to it?
I did get yelled at by somebody because sorry to have my junk all in stuff. I bought this. This is a stand for a PG.
Yeah.
Specifically for the double O riser. Because it has this part comes out, you can put the O riser on it, then you got your double O up here.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Bandai sells this damn kit for $80. This stand. I'm not spending $80 on a stand. I don't give a damn. So I got the $20 Chinese knockoff of it. So that's
there we go. There we go. If you don't want to spend the money, there's something out there for you. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. I love Bandai, but fuck you for an $80 stand. I'm just saying.
Yeah. As somebody who lives and breathes off P Bandais, I don't necessarily blame you there, because just as I'm looking over here at least 7 P Bandai kits, I stress the elite because I can't see everything anymore. And more on the way, by the way, because I'm jackass like that. Yeah, I mean, if you can get official at a better price, by all means.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot harder on the Gundam side to get things at a discount. However, you do have amazing people out there, like the guy that I buy my P Bandais from occasionally, where he sells them at the home prices from Japan, and only charges you shipping from New York. So that guy's amazing. He's getting them at a good, reasonable price from the motherland, and then not turning them around as a secondary market price like normal regular market does. I mean, mind you, he's paying for them right off the bat, but he's not charging people out the ass for it, which I think the secondary market is what really is forcing people to go KO more than initial pricing. It's the people who will stock up on crap and then try to turn around and make a profit off of it, off the people who can't find it. And right now I'm going through that with the Power Rangers Zeo Legacy figures, where people are going through and clearing out their Walgreens or clearing out their Targets and turning around and selling them for $50 a piece for a $20 figure, because people can't find them everywhere. Or the Nintendo figs that I can't find because they just haven't hit Texas, period. And people are selling a $5 figure for $25 because people can't find them.
Well, I mean, that's sort of the same thing that sort of happened with me with these new the Lizard wave of these Marvel Legends that came out. And I'm part of a bunch of different groups, different toy groups and stuff like that. And lately, if you've been hunting them down, and I know Shoki, you picked up one, but like Walgreens has them on sale for like $12.99.
Oh yeah.
Target had them for their $9.99, and there's this guy that like completed his set, like got the whole wave, and he's like, oh, I left some back there. It was like a Mysterio, a Gwenpool, and a couple extras or whatever. And he went back and got them all, and he's like, all right, I have them for trade. Mind you, he paid $9.99 for them. And I tried entertaining his thought of, hey, I could trade. And sometimes trades, I don't have the figures, but Amazon's great. If I see something that's $20 and he's looking for it, that's a fair trade. The dude wanted me to basically get him 2 figures that aren't even in production anymore. They were NECA, and they were like, they totaled up to be about $80, and he wanted to trade 2 figs for 2 figs, and I was like, that's ridiculous. You paid $20 and you want me to trade you $80 worth of stuff. And I think that when you're dealing with like resellers and stuff like that, I think that causes some people to lead towards that KO route, because it's disappointing that, like, hey, I can't, they're searching and they can't find it. And then you got these people that are like, hey, I got it, but you got to pay like triple the price.
Yeah, that's what, you know, it does, but that's also, that creates the market for the KOs, because they go, hey, look, people are charging out the ass for this, so I'm going to go ahead and make a knockoff, whether it's a good one or a bad one, and, you know, I'm going to at least get the profit because other people are charging out the ass on the secondary market. And, you know, people feed into it constantly. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and defend the KO companies by any means, because most of them are assholes, let's just be honest. But the people who have no other choice, like we gave that excuse earlier, with your Aries, you couldn't find that. There's just no way. It's a discontinued figure. There's figures I would love to get that I know are discontinued. That Green Ranger figure that you have that I hate that I can't find anymore. People are asking 120 or more right now for that Green Ranger Legacy figure, and it hasn't been re-released yet. And if there was a good KO version, I would almost be inclined to get that. But I know the second I bought it, they would announce the re-release.
But you have a lot of risk involved with KOs too.
Yes.
Like, example being, you know, this thing that I've been holding in my hand that you're like, what the hell has he been playing with? This thing, it's Groot,
Your wood,
right? So it has only arm articulation is that it rotates all around. There's no hinges, no wrist movement or anything. This is straight up casted from the mold, from the
they just cast the figure.
Yeah. So
solid.
like the limbs just pop out.
It lights up
very
around me.
easily, and they added
a light up chest for no reason.
So it's like this thing falls apart. It has no articulation. You know, it's a piece of trash. That's what you get. That's really.
But did you pay mainline price for trash, or did you pay?
I want to think. I think
discount?
I paid like, it was before they did the Evolution group, which is way better.
I know what you're talking about.
I think I paid like $20 for this, and I got it, and I was so disappointed because the images that they even represented
were not that.
Even, you know, show it, and it's, you know. And everybody, like when you buy from eBay, people in China, they're more focused on their feedback versus than you being taken care of.
That's true.
The only thing that I say I would got from this is I can take this head off of this one that's the straight faced and not the smiling face, and I could put it on my other group. Other than that, it was just a waste of money, and it's trash.
Yeah.
And out of my KO investments, I think I've had more trash than positive experiences.
Way more trash than treasure.
Yes, definitely.
So basically, Megatron is the only thing that's really making it. Megatron and Ares are making it for you.
The Ares now, since they re-released the new one, like, it's cool because I dress them up like a Spartan, but now I have the comic book more accurate one they released with the Gladiator Hulk Wave. I like that better.
At least the good news is it doesn't mean you can't have both.
That is true.
Because there's a weird thing that happened, and it wasn't a knockoff. It was a third-party company. It happened with Transformers very recently. Sunstreaker. So the Masterpiece Sunstreaker came out right at the beginning of the year, right at the end of last year. It's not expensive, but it's Masterpiece price. Brand new figure. They had never done Sunstreaker before, but it caused what I would call the third-party flip. Everybody had Sun Surge, Bad Cube Sun Surge, which was probably one of the best ones on the market prior to this. And if you want to get into that IP infringement, the IP stealing, sure. They made their own version, but everybody does. It's a Transformer.
Yeah, I think it's more.
But,
the whole thing with the third party and knockoffs, it seems like it's more acceptable than the toy side of things.
Oh, for sure. Because, third party for sure. But what I was getting at with the third party flip, you actually, for the first time ever, you have people wanting to buy the official and selling off their third party figure to pay for it. And that was a huge thing. And it was a huge meme. In fact, I think I even made one. And it was, be prepared for all the Bad Cube Sun Surge sales. Everybody trying to sell off their Sun Surge to buy the official. And honestly, that felt good to me. Like, I'm like, to the point that somebody would sell what was the top of the heap before for Hasbro to come back, or Takara technically, to come back and make something and blow people away to the point that they want to get rid of their third parties. Mind you, not knockoffs. However, there will be if there aren't already knockoffs of that. Which, good luck with that engineering, copying that double transforming shit with that thing, where it can be two different Lamborghinis. Which, by the way, I really want that one. I was like, I really want that one. It's like, with everything else that I have to buy, Masterpiece Transformers are so hard to like throw in there. But Dinobot, I'm probably going to have to make that exception for, or I'm going to have to make that credit card work hard for me.
I mean,
by the way, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, guys.
it's also one of those things too. Like example, everybody here, minus Crow, because he's going to the best country in the world, where everything is just magical over there. But
Belgium?
What? No.
Belgium.
But I'm saying, like, everybody has something behind them that they're presenting, and they're proud of. They're displaying these investments and their hobby and what brings them joy. I can see, like, I don't think, if you didn't care, I can see where you just like go KOs and stuff like that. But like I wouldn't be proud to be like, dude, check out my collection, and you have like all KOs and you have like one official or something in there. Like, that to me is sort of embarrassing.
And you hit the nail on the head with what you just said there. They don't care. And it's a caring side, and believe me, the wallet definitely commands everything. Because if you guys don't know, most of my reviews and everything are sponsored by my wallet. Which, be on the lookout for an actual My Wallet commercial sometime soon. I'm working on it. I'm seriously working on My Wallet commercials. So I'll be advertising myself in my own ads. Anyways, but you're right. I mean, it's that they don't care. It's that mentality of, hey, I'm just getting what I want. I don't care if it's fake or not. And I think it's that whole, it's not a new idea. It's just the not wanting, no patience. It's the not wanting to wait. It's the gimme. It's a lot of the gimme generation that has come out.
Instant gratification.
I want that instant gratification. And believe me, I get it. I didn't want to wait for this bad boy up here. That's why I went and sold all of my gaming stuff so that I could afford it. And I paid for it almost completely just out of the stuff I traded in at GameStop. That was amazing. I caught them on a sale, so they're whatever the reverse sale is, where you make more money than you normally would.
I mean, you got 75 cents a game versus 50.
Dude, no. I traded in all my 3DS stuff, and they were giving double points or double money for a lot of things. So I ended up actually getting I don't even know how much money realistically, but essentially I paid for that guy just trading stuff into GameStop. But it's that whole, and I wish Brock was here, because Brockonomics totally plays into this. Because to keep in his $100 a month budget, which, guys, any of you right here, can you do anything you do for the $100 a month?
I could.
Could you feed your hobby for $100 a month?
I try.
I could, but the only reason I can is because what I got up here.
Your freebies.
Well, that too.
Oh, okay, you meant something else.
But I'm talking about, all the what's already allocated. That's the only reason I could.
Well, because you don't need to buy more. You're not constantly feeding it, because you have a lot.
I've got enough that'll keep me busy.
See, I'm backlogged too, but yet I still find myself buying stuff.
Yeah. No, tell me about that, please. Tell me how. You know how much I came home with today from Hobbytown, despite the fact having an overflowing rack of Gunpla already.
I got.
I was laughing at you when you showed me all that stuff.
Yeah.
I got 3 double packs of Legends just right below me, like, that I haven't even reviewed, like 2 packs that I haven't even opened out.
Well, you know what I came home with on Friday, just toy hunting for figures. And then before that, I already have a pile. So, I mean, like I said, trying to do anything on a fixed budget, Brock has the right idea, where basically he has his $100 budget, but as long as he stays within it, regardless if he's selling stuff to make back more money to buy more things, as long as that initial $100 budget doesn't go anywhere, that's awesome. And he's really sticking to it. I talked to him about it, and I was like, how's Brockonomics going? And it's like, it's a struggle, but I'm doing it. you know.
Hmm.
And luckily, Dennis, I believe your expenditures should go down a little bit towards Gunpla by
Oh
moving to
yeah,
Japan.
definitely.
You just have to move entirely to another country to save money.
That's the sad part. Definitely
Yeah.
a privilege, though.
Oh, it sucks having to move to Japan. It's so terrible.
Mm.
I'm sure the move is probably awful though, if you think
Oh,
about it.
it's the worst feeling. I
Well,
swear.
well, the fact that your stuff will be there when you get there, but you don't have your stuff for a month.
Yeah.
Right? Is that basically what it equates to?
I mean, by the time I get there, because I moved it all at the end of, I think it's at the beginning of February or the ending of January. So by the time I get to Japan, it's all going to be waiting for me.
So you're actually moving to Japan?
Yeah. Well, I'm moving there for 3 years, and then I can try and live out there for like the remaining of my time. I only have what should we call it? 9 years left in the Marines. So once I'm done with the Marine Corps, then me and my wife, we're permanently living out there. So 2027, I'll be permanently living in Japan.
And thank you for your services, sir.
Thank you. I tried to get stationed out there, but I guess they said they were closing the army bases.
Yeah, I forgot we have two servicemen here.
It's definitely fun. I like it.
But hey, if you're taking orders, I'll take a R-33. If you want to send one back for me.
Just buy one stateside. It'd be a lot cheaper than importing.
No.
Some things are pretty expensive out there in Japan, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. But Gunpla is not.
No, not by any means.
So we're gonna need you to make a weekly trip to the Gundam base and just stock up on everything we need.
Oh, I can. That's like a 6-hour trip.
Weekly.
Hey,
it's pretty expensive. It's like $500 for a ticket to get to Tokyo.
You'll have sponsorship. Well, we'll all be feeding our own. So by the end, we're actually paying more money, but it feels like we're saving money through you.
Well, at that point, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
as long as I have sponsorship.
There you go. We're sponsoring our bad habit through you as well. And we're itching. Gotta have that. Gotta have the Chrome Bear guy that's only available at the Gundam base.
Bear guys. That's a whole nother conversation.
Knock off Bear guys.
Bear guys.
Hey, we got little Haros coming now that we'll have to constantly flood our things with. We're talking total French here to Art. He's like,
no,
what?
You're good. I see those little bear guys that you put together, or you and your wife put together.
All the bear guys. Yeah, she has a bunch more over here that she hasn't touched yet, including the China guy, which she started on, but I think because I took her nippers because mine broke, she hasn't worked on it. I'm a bad guy like that. Somebody's AC just shut off. It sounds like like I'm just constantly hearing a buzzing in the background. I can't feel my ears anymore. I don't know about you guys. How much progress you made on your Zaku there, Crow?
What was that?
How much progress have you made on your Zaku?
Oh, so the body's already done. I just had to build a leg. I started outlining it, but
do the Zaku.
I'm just lazy right now. I don't feel like doing it anymore.
It's late on a Sunday night. I don't blame you.
It is.
You don't have to work tomorrow, do you?
No, I have work. That's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm gonna probably bounce out in a couple more minutes.
Yeah, no, we're wrapping up. We've talked long enough about it. I think we got our point across realistically. And I don't know if we really got a point across so much as just talking about it, because I think we're all of the same mindset that there's a gray area where knockoffs are okay, but for the most part, the idea of knockoffs is shitty. And the fact that the mentality of the collectors, or even the builders in a lot of cases, that's what makes it sickening, realistically. And what started the conversation in the first place, that idea of, why does it cost so much? I'm not paying that. I'm going to wait on the knockoff. That mentality, it's just wrong. It's the worst way to approach it, and I get it. I'm a cheapskate. I want to save all the money I can, but I'm also going to make the effort for the things that are official, and I'm going to find a way to pay for it. That's just me. And I don't make that much money. Regardless of what it looks like behind me, I don't make that much money. I'm not even going to talk about what I spend. If we all actually look at what we spend on our hobbies, it's like, yeah, I'm not even going to tell you how many times I could have fixed my car. I I will be honest with everyone right now. The money I spent at Hobby Town today would have paid to replace my radiator that is busted in my old car and possibly get the windshield installed. However, my priorities are to the plastic in this room. Let's just be honest here. But okay.
Oh, I was gonna say, so like going back to that guy's statement of he'll wait for the knockoff. In that time frame he waits for a knockoff, he could probably save up enough money to buy the original.
Yeah. But of course, at that point, you're going to be buying other things so you can't allocate that section of money away, you know. But like, for me, for instance, I'm waiting on the Solchkoken Dragonzord that doesn't come out till August. And I know that's expensive. It's $179, which we're going to round up. We'll call it $190 after shipping. That's expensive. But I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to find a way to pay for it. And I've got till August. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to wait till December when the knockoff comes out. Which presumably there's a knockoff. It's a Bandai expensive product. Odds are there's going to be a knockoff. But you know, it's just the sickening mentality. And honestly, I see way more in the Transformers community. I don't know about other collectors, the Marvel side and stuff like that, because I think when it comes to straight figures, it seems like it's a slightly different mentality. Because some knockoff figures actually have some quality to them.
I mean, in the knockoff world, I guess there's only two right now that are sort of still hold any type of value, like they're semi decent. I didn't invest into them, like a Jubilee Build-A-Figure. Those aren't, again, this is one of those items that you can't get anymore. And then you also have like the Fing Fang Foom.
Oh God, yes. They discussed that a lot on Brock's show the other night, the Fing Fang Foom KO, which was a big deal. And I guess that was more of a big deal in that particular case due to the controversy between those two individuals that it happened with. However, I guess if the KO is so good that you can't tell the difference when you're sending it to somebody, you know, I guess that's a borderline of if it's good enough that, you know, if it's a good KO, because there are good KOs, there's that weird gray area where, okay, if it's, and we said it, God knows how many times at this point, if you don't have an option, sure. If you're just buying the KO because you're a dick about it, fine.
But I watched that Fing Fang Foom KO recently on eBay. I was just watching it just for shits and giggles. And this company that's known, this eBayer is known for a lot of Chinese knockoffs and stuff, has a bunch of Jubilees and stuff like that, would put one of these knockoff Fing Fang Fooms up and have it open for bids. Literally a KO sold for over $150.
Wow.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? And it's like, you can just put a bunch out there and sell them cheap, but you're playing the system by putting one out and letting it get bidded all out. And once that's sold, you wait a little bit, toss another one out down the road. Like $150 for a KO is that's just bonkers.
And let's be honest, the Fing Fang Foom is a good size figure. It's not like a little bitty thing.
Right, it's massive.
It's massive. So, I mean, at least in plastic, there's some value, but not that, especially not for an unofficial product. You know, it's like paying, I guess, in the same way Davon, they're perfect grade unicorns. You know, you're paying a third of the price because the perfect grade unicorn was always stupid expensive, but you get the lighting, you get the base, and all that stuff. Well, I'm sorry, you don't get the lighting. The lighting was extra. But, however, the ones that came with the lighting, the knockoffs, the lighting was garbage from what I saw. The LEDs were terrible. It was nowhere near on the quality of what Bandai was putting out. And of course, you have the gifted individuals who can wire their own shit and make an amazing setup. Let's be honest, there are those people out there. We've seen it. Yeah. Like there's somebody, God knows which group, wired up their MG unicorn with an amazing LED setup.
I've seen it with the RGs too.
Yeah, how the hell do you light up an RG? It's fucking tiny, you know. But you know, it's the idea. If you get quality, maybe it's okay to have that. If the KOs are altered in some way, if there's something that's different about them from the thing, that's what in the case of Infinite Transformation, they made an effort to improve upon what Hasbro brought you.
Still could have been a separate kit that they could have sold though.
And I made that argument to you, and it took a while, but I made that argument. Why couldn't they have just made the backplate? Why couldn't they have just made the Crimsy?
Yeah, but as
Whose
you talk
kid is
about that
talking?
too,
Hmm.
that's my little one coming to bed.
Hello.
When you talk about like the LEDs from DM and stuff like that, there's a company right now that's already bootlegged the LED system and the base for the Exia,
I
for the
wouldn't doubt
PG
it.
Exia, and it doesn't look that bad. So I mean, if there's people that are hurting, you know,
Yeah,
and don't want to spend $300 for a perfect
the
grade
full,
Exia lighted
the
bulb,
full lighted. Yeah.
they can do 180 on the regular, and then another 50 for the lights.
Okay. That's
So does
that's
that?
a that's a good
So
argument.
does
However,
that?
are
You're
you
still
are
buying the Bandai kit.
are you gonna trust that lighting setup though?
Yeah, but if you're somebody like me that tinkers with stuff, you can replace the wiring.
But do you
But
want to
the
spend the money
video,
and then have to hold on? What did you just say? You just said that you're gonna buy a knockoff to save the money and then have to fix it
yeah, but
to
if you
make
already got
sure it has
wire
the
laying
Bandai
around,
quality.
I'd do it. I would do it.
But you
But
get the idea that
when
you
it
could.
came to that, you know, I don't know. I didn't. I got Bandai.
No, I get it.
So
Yeah, no, I got Bandai too. That's the thing. Now, if I could have saved money on that lighting kit, sure. Why?
yeah, there's
I
people
mean,
out there that can't do stuff like that,
oh
and
yeah,
I understand why they do it. I'm not going to knock them for it.
no, I get it. No, believe me, I understand. Like we said from the beginning, everybody's got their own budget. They can do what they want. It's your money. Let's just be totally honest here. It's your money.
Yeah,
Spend it
yeah,
as
but
you wish.
I don't believe that people should bash other people for. In that case, you know, like I got a lot of followers that are in the Philippines,
Yeah,
and there's
so do
a
I.
big problem with knockoffs in the Philippines. And I don't think, you know, when they come over and come into some of these groups, I don't think people should just bash the hell out of them because they can only afford to get the bootleg. They're still
Yeah,
enjoying the hobby. They're still doing what they love.
yeah.
So
It,
while
it
I might not support bootlegs, I'm not going to
well,
bash somebody for doing it.
but that's why we also said we kind of made it clear. You know, it is what it is, because in
Mhm.
some cases you don't have an option. Like Philippines, you probably
Yeah,
don't have you don't really have the option to be able to buy original. That's why
they
that's why the knockoff companies are
they
excelling there.
do, but the problem out there, from what they've been telling me, and they're the ones that asked me to build and review some third party and knockoff kits, which I won't do the knockoffs, but I don't mind the third parties.
Yeah,
But the price, they do have Bandai out there. The problem is Bandai is so overpriced
yeah.
out
The
there
mark the
that
market is terrible there.
for an old 2000 kit or something like that, they pay damn near P Bandai prices for it, or what would be the equivalent of us buying a P Bandai kit. So I
Okay.
understand, you know, why they buy what they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I guess that's more or less a good place to end there. Um, I mean, like I said, it's your money. Do with it as you will. But it's the idea of I'm not gonna bother with what's the real because it costs too much. So I'm just gonna wait on it. If you don't
Yeah,
have it on,
that statement was messed
yeah.
up.
If you
I
don't,
mean,
and maybe we're not all in agreement here, but if you don't have, I'm gonna have to mute Mitchell.
here, I'll mute it. I know they're getting louder.
It's all good. I could just turn him down. It's all good. Anyways, just knockoffs are always going to be here. We're never going to take care of them completely. Bandai has been cracking down, or maybe it was somebody else shut them down. The government of China technically shut down Dragon Momoko or something along those lines. They're never going to go away. There's always going to be somebody who's going to make knockoff stuff. It's just always going to be that way.
Mhm.
There's knockoff everything out there. You know, I could buy a knockoff version of this exact pen, you know, and save 15 cents, you know, even though this was a free pen, but it is what it is, you know. And I fully admit that I raged way too hard when I made my initial video, which is why I wanted to have a conversation with other people instead of just have me ranting to myself in a car, which is really what it was. And you know, while it was my true thoughts on it, I don't believe that I articulated myself properly in doing that. That's why I really want to talk about other people, especially people like yourself, Art, where you did buy KO products, you've been there. Why'd you have your reasonings behind it? Or in the case of other third party / KO products, in the way of Crow or
Mhm.
Mitchell has done it. You know, we all have a reason to why we would have done it in the first place, but it's the mentality of how we got there that matters more than anything. And while these companies are never going anywhere, we have to find a way to properly deal with them and live with them because it is what it is, you know. While we're all probably going to support mainline things and official products as best we can, even myself, I can guarantee you I'm going to end up with a knockoff something somewhere down the line. So I can almost guarantee it. There's going to be that thing that I can't help it. And by all means, I invite everyone to talk as much shit as possible and throw it at me that, hey, you said you would never buy a knockoff product. I didn't say that, did I? Never said I wouldn't buy knockoff. I'm just going to not support the knockoffs as best I can because there are some upscaled figures I would definitely love to have, and especially those DX9 upscaled Dinobots. I would love to have those. Have you seen those yet, Art?
Yeah, those look pretty tasty.
And they upscaled them and gave them a really good paint job. However, they didn't fix any of the engineering problems from those. So if in future I start reviewing some upscaled knockoff DX9 Dinobots, I set it out here first. I'll probably do it. But
let's hope they make those upscale kits.
Yes. Well, what I'm hoping is they upscale and improve the Hasbro Dinobots because I keep saying that those all need to be bigger anyways. Because Grimlock should have been a leader. Let's just be honest. He is a leader. He's on equal footing with Prime. But that's neither here nor there. But guys, that's going to be it for this Nerdcast. I believe we've talked on long enough about a singular subject, and I don't even know. This had to been 2 hours at least. Yeah, we're at 10:40 right now, which is much later for Art. But it is what it is. Guys, go subscribe to all of these gentlemen if you haven't already. We got TheKrowSama over here. We've got InkedGunpla and Unboxing Art. I always promote these guys as best I can. Go check out all their YouTube channels. Yeah, basically, I like to follow them on everything. Actually, realistically, don't bother subscribing to Mitchell. Just follow him on all the social medias because that's where he actually does all his work. He does his live streams on YouTube, which are always fun to jump in on, and he's always got his Instagram going constantly with photos and things like that. And Crow, just always good talking with you, buddy.
Yes, y'all too, man.
I like jumping in on your live streams. It's fun. And look forward to another Drunk Gunpla review in very near future from him because he stayed up. Whoa, somebody's making a lot of noise. And
yeah,
I mean, what are you guys? If you guys are working on anything in particular you want to throw out there, or if you guys want to say anything, go right ahead.
The only thing I'm only working on straight builds as of right now. So the next kit I am going to be reviewing is going to be the Zaku 1 Shar's version. Other than that, I don't really have any big projects until I do get to Japan next month, and that's going to be more stuff for the GBWC. And right now, the biggest thing I'm doing is this drunk review. I'm doing the edits, and it's gonna be pretty good.
I feel you on that, and and knowing that, just at least seeing the last couple, or at least the last one you just did, which was ridiculous. I couldn't even imagine.
Did you see the first one?
What was the first one?
It's a little bit further down in the list. That one came out in November.
I didn't watch it, if I'm totally honest, but the Sazabi one was hilarious.
Oh, this one's. I guess the Sazabi ones, they're both on like kind of equal levels.
Guys, if you haven't seen it, at least watch the Sazabi one because it's worth the IBO skit. To me,
it gets ridiculous.
Put me in the Barbados. Because if you don't know, guys, basically as they get through the review, when they get to a new section of the review, they take another shot. It gets ridiculous after a while.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, go. What's Shup's channel? It's
Oh, it's a Gundam Fan 15.
Yeah, Gundam Fan. Yeah, definitely. I'll rep him in there too because he needs more support since he's come back to the platform finally.
Yeah.
And Art, you got anything going on that you want to tell anybody about, or is it just go review him? He's trying to get more people.
I mean, if you want to see reviews, check my stuff out, or I'm going to be doing that kit that.
Oh yes, he's getting in. He's getting into the Gundam world. I'm made him do it.
Working on intro and outro stuff for my channel, and just actually, this will probably air after I do my drawing, but my giveaway is going to be happening soon. So, because I've been sort of dragging that out, but that's about it, man. Just reviewing, trying to keep up with everything, and trying to. I need to get more display cases.
Yes.
A lot more detox.
Tell me about it. I need just an IBO detox. That's what's ridiculous. Which, by the way, I told you need to go watch IBO. You're not even a huge Gundam nerd, but you have to watch IBO.
I will definitely have to.
Yeah.
I'm off tomorrow, or in about 15 minutes. It will be today.
It'll be tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow very soon for you. I'm trying to remember if yeah, they have it all over the place. You can find IBO. Anyways, guys, thanks for sticking around this long. If you actually listen to or watch this entire podcast, it's absolutely ridiculous. But here on the Nerdcast, of course, we do the thing where you're not a nerd. Not everyone has to be a nerd for everything, but everyone's a nerd for something. And especially with this diverse group of nerds I have here, that definitely stands. And we'll get back to normal Nerdcast where we get into the multi-topic things another day. I really want to get back to that because I think it's fun because everyone does nerd about different stuff. So we definitely have a lot more Gundam fans and stuff like that. But there's some stuff out there people nerd about that you don't even get. Like Mitchell there. He needs to just come on and have an entire vape segment.
You gotta unmute him.
No, it's okay. I don't want him to talk.
I muted myself.
Okay.
He had the kids and the wife in the background. No, I was just joking that he can come on and be a vape nerd, and I'll just completely check out while he talks about vape stuff, because that's what he does for a living. But we'll catch you guys next time. Go look at all of our reviews of things because we all need the attention, because that's why we're on the internet in the first place. We need friends. Be our friends, please. We need digital friends. But you guys are awesome. Thanks for coming on the channel and having all this really dumb discussion with me. It's been fun. And we will see you guys later. And remember, as always, keep on nerding, keep on building, and let's keep building this community together, guys. I'll see you later.
You got that bootleg internet.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
That Walmart internet.
I wish I had bootleg internet so that it actually would be fast. Why am I hearing echo all of a sudden? I wasn't earlier.
I don't hear echo.
I blame
I don't
Mitchell.
either. I get blamed for everything, man.
You were the last bitch in.
Technically,
Okay.
I was the first.
Hold on, let me turn on my ring light so I look beautiful. There we go. It's fucking gay.
Didn't really do anything different.
Right?
Hey, where'd Dennis go?
Says the Dennis is here.
Yeah.
Where?
He's there. I see him. Do you not see him?
No, there's somebody else sitting there.
Oh, I took off my glasses.
Did you just Clark Kent that shit?
I did.
God damn it. I'm gonna add this in at the end of the actual Nerdcast. Hey, me in the future, remember to cut this and add it at the end for outtakes because that's fucking hilarious. Where did Dennis go? I don't know, man. I don't see him.
Crow, my alter ego.
Crow bitch. Okay. All right, remember, he's Crow. He's not Dennis.
Okay. So he's Crow. What's Mitchell go by?
Mitchell.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right.
Unless you want to say InkedGunpla constantly.
Inked. Yeah,
Just
a lot
call
of
him.
people online call me Inked.
Do you want to be referred to as Inked, or are you okay with being
Sure.
Mitchell?
I don't care.
I'm not. Just call him Mitchell because I'm gonna get confused. Crow, Mitchell, Shocky. It's a knockoff Nerdcast. Welcome to the knockoff Nerdcast.
Shocker.
She puts up with him. That's a gold medal one way or the other.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting he can hear me. All right, nobody say anything for a while, so I can do the damn intro. Oh, that's terrible. I've ran out of beer 10 minutes ago. Somebody get this man some Crown. Somebody get this man the Crown.
But yeah,
Better not be a knockoff. But I think
this is OG Crown right here. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
the good stuff. Not non-spawn. # non-spawn. Though if Crown Royal really wants to reach out, by all means.
Right? I
Shoki
wouldn't
wouldn't
turn
mind
it
some
down.
alcoholic sponsorship for fun. Then we really have some good Shoki After Dark content.